Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking with Miss Holt. I'm a former high school home ec teacher and I love cooking with my students, and now I enjoy cooking with you all. Today we're going to make brownies from scratch. And I have to admit, as I go through life, there's two recipes that I'm constantly on the look for. A perfect brownie recipe from scratch and a perfect chicken salad recipe. So I'm constantly on the look for those two things. So about 2 years ago, my daughter gave me this recipe, and I looked at it and I made it the way it was the first time, and then I fiddled with it and I ended up changing 2 or 3 things, and so now I think I've got it like I want it. And so I've made, I don't know how many hundreds of these since then, and so I'm going to share it with you today. So let me tell you, first of all, before we get started, it calls for 8 ounces of chocolate, and this is Baker's brand German chocolate. And baking chocolate is not chocolate that you eat. It's just what it says. It's chocolate that you bake with or cook with. You can cook with it, you can make fudge with it, and different things like that. So, and I have used Cadbury with this. I have used Ghirardelli. I would just use, this one's about 49%. I think, 48%. It says it on here. So it's 48%. It says it, I think, down at the bottom of the box. So I use about a 49% cocoa. This is the one I've landed on. I think is my favorite, and that's the one that I've stuck with. So let me turn you down here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so right here, what I have in this bowl is I have 2 boxes, like I said, of the Baker's chocolate, German chocolate, and they have been melted in the microwave along with a stick of salted butter. Now, what you want to do is, hang on just a second, I'm going to turn my fan off. It's hot here in Georgia, but I'm afraid my fan is too loud. Let me turn that off. I just melted that in the microwave. And you can do it according to how strong your microwave is. You can do it in 30-second increments. The thing is, you just don't want to burn it. If you burn it, the chocolate will seize up. That's what it's called. It seizes. And there's really no bringing that back. I have not found a way to bring chocolate back once it has seized up. So anyway, so we have our chocolate and our butter in here. To that, we're going to add 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and I just pour my vanilla in there just to save y'all some time so that you don't have to sit and wait and watch for me to measure out vanilla. So I'm going to pour that in there, and we're going to put it just like that. And then I have 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. We're going to dump that in there just like that. And then we have, oh, and make sure that your chocolate and your butter is completely cool. I cooled this before we started. So if you don't, it'll cook your eggs. And so then I have 4 large eggs, and they don't have to be beaten because we're going to turn the mixer on them anyway. And 1/2 cup of canola oil. And just from a science point of view, the butter is what gives your brownies the shine. If you've ever wondered, like, why are my box brownie mixes shiny and my scratch brownies are not, butter is what gives them that shine and gives them that crackly top that we all like. And then this 1/2 cup of canola oil, and you could use any unflavored oil, but I'm using canola oil. That gives it the moisture. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir right here, and then we're to beat it with a mixer. So let me just do that for just a second. Okay. All right, we're done with that. And then in this bowl, I have 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of this white lily all-purpose flour that I have right here, plus a half a teaspoon of baking powder and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And don't worry about the measurements. I'll put the recipe in the comments. So I'm gonna put that in there. Now I will tell you, once you get the flour in here, don't beat it a lot. As a matter of fact, we can just stir this in. I've already taken the beaters out of my mixer, and you could do it either way. You could mix it up with the mixer, or you can stir it in with a spatula. And you can see the flour's going in. And the reason you don't want to beat it too much is you're going to put too much air in it and it'll become like cake. So you don't want to put a lot of air in it. Okay, now I'm going to stop right here and say you can add pecans right here if you want to, and that's what it should look like. But you could add pecans, walnuts, or you don't have to. Most of the time I don't, and so it will work either way. Let me turn you up here, finish up. Okay, I'm going to show you my pan and how I bake brownies. Now this may seem strange to some of you, but here's this is just a 9x13 metal pan, and I've got it lined with parchment paper, and I've got metal clips on here. Okay, metal, not plastic. They have to be metal. And you just clamp it down on the sides and it holds the parchment paper back. And this keeps your pan clean. It will keep it from burning, and it's just the greatest. I just love it. And if you want to do the 2 strips and make a sling, you can do that too, but I just press it down in here and clip it, and it works just fine. So, oh, and I forgot to tell you, this is the little tray. I talked about this the other day, but I keep a little container of salt in here, a little container of baking powder, baking soda, and vanilla, and it just keeps me from having to dig through the cabinets and look for all of those little, especially those little containers, they get hidden behind the other stuff. And so I just, when I know I'm gonna bake, I just pull out that tray and I'm ready to go. Now, I'm gonna pour this batter into my prepared pan, and it takes about 30 to 33 minutes on 350, and I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all, our brownies are out of the oven, and you can see where I stuck my toothpick in the middle there a little bit, and it kind of cracked my surface a little bit, but you have to do that to make sure that they're done. And so these took about 33 minutes, and so when they cool, I will put a picture of the cut brownies in the comments. But you see what I was saying about the butter giving it that shiny texture, and when they cool, they'll have a crackly, kind of crispy top, and then the middle will be fudgy. Thanks so much for joining me today, and if I can help you with any of your cooking dilemmas or cooking issues, just message me and I'll be happy to. See you soon.